I germinated all of my Epicotyl grafts in this container in the germ chamber at 85 degrees. I sort them into this chamber. They're all under soil right now because I don't want them to dry out. And then I bring the ones that are sorted and big enough. So with pecans, the epicotyl is generally a little bit thicker than the radicle, so I'm trying to graft onto the epicotyl. So I have those washed. I dunked them all into a bucket, and they're clean enough to graft. Then I'll take the scion wood, and I'm looking for large buds with healthy wood behind it. Some of these have, I don't know, like that's not a bud. Here there's some like borer made that line, and I don't want to use any of that wood. And yeah, that bud's too small. I'm looking for a good non-terminal bud. So I'll take this scion. I'm gonna get rid of these two because I have enough buds that I'm not worried about it. These would be sufficient to be pushing good growth, but I'm gonna cut it to here, and then I'm making sure not to damage any of the buds. Actually, there's a little bit of borer right there, so I'm gonna go up. There might be borer in this too, actually. This tree might be a little susceptible. Making a little cleft, and then I cut it first because this can be hard on the epicotyl to receive a cut when it's attached. Do that, stick it in the mouth, and then I take a good plant, clip off the root at a good length, cut off the top, split it like that, and I split it in line with the nut. I'm putting the bud over the nut, not facing outward. That saves a little bit of space in the pot. And then I clip over the nut as well, and that saves space in the pot as well. Then I go to this beeswax cheese wax mixture. It's 50-50, and I dip it completely. I make sure to inspect that the cheese wax filled in all the holes in the corners and that the top is well sealed. If it weren't sealed, I would take this and, you know, rub a little bit of extra wax on it. This is just a piece of wood that is clearly accumulating a lot of wax. And then I put it in a pile for potting up. After potting up, or while potting up, I just fill this bottom with a little bit of soil, put all the nuts in there, and then I take this aluminum 10-cent forestry tag that's labeled with this is F37, it's over Lakota, so I do that, and I stick them all in these pots. With large pecans, you can only fit 3 or 4 to a pot, but with hickories, I generally fit 5, and that's a good amount in the pot. I think that's it. Oh, and then I'll stick this in the germ chamber later, and I'll show you that. Thank you. So here's my little 8x8 greenhouse that works, even though it's pretty sketchy. And I keep all my epicotyl grafts in this hot box. This is a greenhouse inside of a greenhouse. It's always got airflow. It's got its own special little heater, has an exhaust, and then I can lift up this front panel, so we don't need to heat our greenhouse as much. I have this this hot box controlled with this Inkbird thermostat, and it's set to 80 degrees, plus or minus 2 degrees is what I got it set for. That leads to some challenges when trying to regulate this temperature when it gets sunny and then cloudy, but what do you do? And yeah, I've got all the grafts lined up. You can see my labels are on the side here. And I will fill up the dirt a little bit more. You can fill up the dirt to just underneath the bud. It does kind of make the bud more challenged getting out if you fill the dirt above the bud, but I have not experienced any issues with having the graft union covered in dirt. In fact, I've had some roots develop from the scion above the graft union when it's left in the dirt, but it's actually really helpful for the epicotyl to be out of the sun, out of low humidity environment above the soil. And yeah, so I'll let this sit for like 2-ish weeks, and then things should start popping around that. So I was just over by the germ chamber and thought I'd show you this. These are the containers that I germinate stratify my nuts in. I bury these into the ground. Make sure to have it really loose, like you can even, really, really loose soil. And then these are rodent proof, and they allow water in. I crushed in the top so that water surely gets into these holes, because it might not be that likely the other way around. And there's holes in the bottom. And I fill these up with onion sack-like bags, little 1-pound bags for onions, and that allows, with the aluminum forestry tags, and that lets me label the bags and still be able to have them separated. Anyway, stratifying in the ground makes a big difference for how quickly things germinate and how uniformly the nuts germinate. That change in temperature makes a big difference, in addition to just having the right moisture levels, lack of rot, etc. This is where I'm germinating. I got a little crock pot set on low. Keep warm might work, but low works as well. I might produce a little bit too much fluctuation. And what I'm looking for these to be ready is, well, it's kind of hard to see, but there's roots growing through the bottom. That's a good sign. And it's really tight in here, and then I'm seeing germination on the top. Now, I'm not sure if this is ready for me to dig up. I might wait a couple more days, or I might do at least half of it. Seems like this side is a little slower than that side. This might be a mixed bag of 2 different pecan varieties. Yeah, this is how I germinate, and it's all set to 85 degrees. That really matters. 80 degrees is not sufficient. And again, I have this controlled by an Inkbird thermostat. They're so nice. So this side has really good germination. This must be Lakota as well. And yeah, I'm gonna dig it out. And you dig it out by like scooping from underneath. Otherwise you can be prone to busting the nut off. And you do need the nut to be able to push this growth. It's got all the fuel reserves.